making you a sandwich.
Big. Woo, big.
Big? All right, we'll make a big one.
Big bear.
Big bear.
No, true. Out there.
We're glad you're home, honey.
Big bear, chase. Big bear, chase.
What does he say?
What? Big bear, chase me.
Hello, everybody. This episode of the Back to the Past podcast, we're going to talk about John Candy. We're going to do something a little bit different on this episode. Normally, we cover a specific subject, specifically like a film franchise, TV show franchise, etc., etc. This time, we're going to focus mainly on an actor's life. And unfortunately, John Candy was only 43 years old when he passed away back in 1994, on March 4th, actually.
About a month before Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, which...
That's a rough month.
That was a kind of rough. It was a big shock. I mean, I still remember that was the year I graduated. I remember when John Candy passed away, but not as well as I remember Kurt Cobain, because that's when everybody was, oh my God, Kurt Cobain. And I think his death overshadowed John's quite a bit, even though, as you said, it was a couple weeks apart.
Yeah.
I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
I had just turned 10.
So I really can't think of my first exposure to John Candy or a John Candy film. I would imagine it was probably Splash or Vacation, which would be one of his more smaller roles, or maybe even Home Alone.
I'm pretty sure my first one was Great Outdoors.
Okay.
For me, it would either be Great Outdoors or Home Alone as well. Specifically, we're in the polka band, polka.
Yeah.
And then, The Great Outdoors, which was a film that my grandmother just absolutely loved, which you could definitely see why. There's just a lot of character in that film.
Yeah.
But her favorite line is, Big bear, chase me.
That's my mom's favorite, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
She, in fact, I brought up, I need to watch Great Outdoors again, and she just smiled and, Big bear. I'm like, yep, that's the movie.
Yeah, it's that is a great scene, and it's a great film with John Candy and Dan Aykroyd. Kind of, you looking back and doing more research, you don't realize that how this group of people come up, and with John Candy, Dan Aykroyd, both being Canadians, both being with Second City, and they just have all this rapport, and then you start looking at the IMDb, and you're like, oh, they're in this movie together. They're in this movie together. They're in this movie together. They almost were in this movie together. And it's like, wow, just kind of a shock.
Oh, yeah, your Joe Flaherty, your Rick Moranis, Harold Ramis. And a lot of these were all SCTV guys, too.
Yeah.
But then they started all popping up in all these movies together, and it's a rabbit hole.
Yeah. I would say that group has more of the longer lasting memories for me than SNL alumni when it comes to films.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, Will Ferrell did some good ones. Of course, Eddie Murphy and...
Well, it's kind of a curse with SNL. A lot of the movies they make
are bombs.
are terrible.
If they're based on their
boy.
skits.
Yeah.
Like Night at the Roxbury, stuff like that. Wayne's World was pretty decent, the first one. The second one, forgettable.
The Ladies Man.
Yes. The Ladies Man. Why did they do that?
I mean, didn't they do a Pat movie
They
also?
did do a Pat movie.
Oh, my God. Oh, and they did
the
Molly
Will Ferrell.
Shannon. The schoolgirl.
Yeah.
I can't remember what her name was.
Right, holding her hands underneath her armpits so she could smell them.
Was it Rockstar or...
That's like what she would say, Rockstar, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry cheerleading. Didn't they do a film together, too, I thought, based on that? Can't remember.
If so, very memorable.
Very, very unmemorable, apparently.
Very cool, Justin.
Very
cool.
Very cool. One of the funny things about, I don't know if it'd be funny, but just one of the odd things is that John Candy was born on Halloween in 1950.
That's dope.
Very dope.
This gets even crazier.
Mm-hmm.
That is, by year and date, the same as my dad's birthday.
Huh.
He was also born on Halloween, 1950.
Damn. All right.
Same day.
Twinsies.
Right.
Rad.
Right. Just one border separating them.
Yeah. And a lot of miles.
Very. Yeah, because John Candy was born in Newmarket, Ontario, Canada. So,
Doesn't ring a bell.
no.
Household name.
Right. And I believe married his high school sweetheart, Rosemary Margaret Hobor? Not Hodor, but Hobor. In, I believe it was 1979. And they stayed married until he passed away in 94.
And I know their first kid, I think, was born 1980.
Jennifer.
Yes.
And then the son, Danny?
Christopher
Okay.
was same year I was, 84.
How about that?
Yeah. We're twinsies.
Yeah. And they kept the property up in Canada, even though, they also had a place in Los Angeles, because, he's an actor and it makes more sense to be close to where the roles and filming and stuff like that would be.
It'd be good to live close to work. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But still being able to go back to the peace and quiet of kind of seclusion up in Canada.
And I saw an interview with him back in
It's a pretty old
it was the
interview, if
early
it's the same
80s.
one, yeah.
And
The
that
daughter
house
was
looked very plain.
normal, yeah. It looked kind of just like a farmhouse, and
Yeah, like a one-story, just a little house, little
I think
pond.
Jennifer, the daughter, was just like a year or two old. She's very little,
Yeah,
out
she
in a little
was-
playpen out in the yard or something like that.
Yeah, she was pretty small. It was, but I was just blown away by, because I've only seen him in movies.
Same here.
And really, I hadn't even seen hardly any SCTV until, in the last few weeks. Mm-hmm. But all I knew him from was just what I saw on the screen, and that was the first time I actually saw him as him.
Right.
I'm speechless now. Even think he is so different than anything he is on the screen.
Yeah. Seemed like a very humble,
Very quiet.
yeah, no controversy. Oh, if I can get that word out, or scandals. You've never heard anything bad?
Yeah, as far as I know, I mean, the limited exposure I have with him, I mean, he was just straight up a nice guy. He's the guy that they were on set, and I don't remember which lady this was, but they didn't have a trailer for her to get dressed and whatnot.
yes.
Maureen O'Hara or
Maureen
something
O'Hara.
like that.
Yeah.
And so he's like, well, we're find the money for it. Well, we don't have the money. All right, well, I'm giving her my trailer, and I'll just, hang out in this. I don't even remember what he called it, but it was some other thing that was much less than a trailer.
Yeah.
And they were so embarrassed because I'm assuming he was like kind of the star of whatever movie that was. So then they, in quotations, found the money or
Right.
found extra money. And
It's
then
amazing
he has
that-
a trailer too.
Yeah.
Because
like-
he had this huge one, she had this small one, and she's like, or he was thinking, she's acted with, John Wayne and some of these other legendary actors, and you're going to put her in this little closet, essentially?
Yeah.
She
It's
should
one
at
of the
least,
greats.
yeah, she should have something at least as big as mine.
Well, I think I mean, I don't know. I just think he was a very good person, regardless of what kind of power he ever had as an actor. I just feel like he was a genuine good person, and I think that's what anyone would say about him that has met him, as far as I know.
Well, and all the statements that I saw, as with usually whenever some famous person dies, there's all these positive comments that come out, and yeah, he's a great person. Oh, I love him. But literally, in his case, I think they all meant it because they all, the interviews I saw, everyone really looked pretty distraught. Granted, timeliness probably had a lot to do with it too.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think he had an enemy in the world.
Yeah.
And the shocking loss of being so sudden was a big deal. I mean, but it's really hard to believe. You could kind of see actors like Belushi and Chris Farley, because they kind of put their bodies through hell with drugs and alcohol abuse and stuff like that.
A lot of partying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it didn't sound like John Candy went to bed at 9 o'clock on non-filming days. He still stayed up pretty late making turkeys and stuff,
Yeah.
according to Eugene Levy.
Yeah, that was a great story. Not putting the turkey until 10 o'clock at night.
Right.
Like,
taking it out at 2.
you know how many pounds to an hour this is, John?
It'll just
It better
done
be a
and stuff.
small turkey.
It's like, no, 10, 12, 14 pounds.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we never ate before midnight, and it was usually about 2 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Got to get up early and film the next day. I'm like, good God.
Yeah. One of the other clips I watched on YouTube was Tiny Lister. I think he's the one that played Debo on Friday. The guy that's my back. And he was telling the story about this guy, and it may have been somebody that they knew, him and John Candy knew, and apparently the guy was in the process of losing his home. And, when John Candy went to hug the guy, bye or whatever, he slipped something like $10,000 into his pocket, which the guy didn't realize until after he got home. So if that story's true, that's apparently a very giving guy as well.
Yeah, because I'd also hear about other stories of, like, he'd go to a bar and he'd have a few drinks, but then next thing you know, he's buying, like, every tab at that specific bar just to pay it forward kind of thing. Like, I made it, here's one on me,
Yeah.
That's sort of the reoccurring theme I think we keep running into.
Yeah, I think I seen Martin Short talking about something similar to that he's like, he's making good money. We're all making pretty good money, but how in the hell is John Candy affording to buy all these people's tabs and pay for their bills
When he
and all
gets
this
paid the
stuff?
same that I do.
Right? It's like, how's he doing it?
I just love the one where they went to his house and interviewed him, where they asked him, what do you think your neighbors around here think of you whenever they see you, like you're their hero? And he just kind of had this sheepish look on his face, like, that's
shucks.
Yeah, like that's really nice. He goes, I'm just happy anyone likes the movies. Like,
Right.
That's kind of cool. I mean, like you'd think that. I mean, talk about unassuming. Like, he goes to work, and then he comes home. He's a hero to these people, and he really has no concept of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, I think Hollywood could use a little more of that.
Oh yeah, no kidding.
I think the world could use a little more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he actually went to college to study journalism. I'm glad that didn't work out.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I'm really curious what his journalistic style would be like.
Right.
For
I'm
being such
happy-
an honest person.
Yeah. Like, I'm happy he went the direction he went, but boy, I'd be really curious if he would have turned into like a Cronkite or something, where like everyone trusted him.
Right. And then he also went to school for higher education after going to community college. So I think he would have made a fantastic teacher. Mm-hmm. I mean, he would have been everybody's favorite teacher, I would imagine.
Oh,
even
absolutely.
the people that couldn't pass his class. Like, you're at least
I
going to make
failed,
it fun.
but at least I had fun doing
Right.
it.
I enjoyed it.
Can't wait to take you again next semester.
Yeah, or next year. But no, he had a lot of little roles, guest starring on a Canadian children's television series. I was going to have one of those episodes, I guess, called Cucumber, and made a small uncredited appearance in Class of 44. So this is back in like 1973. Pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Now, watching through some of the movies, obviously he's more known for comedic roles. I really would have loved him do more dramatic or like psychotic kind of roles, because I think he would have nailed those.
I think he'd been a great villain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could just see him doing because if you look at Uncle Buck, in a way, he kind of was slightly a villain to Tia, and I can't remember what her boyfriend's name was in that movie. It was like a tool's name or something like that, something stupid.
Wrench?
No, it was
He was a tool, all right.
Bug or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But man, he really, when he goes into that party, he's got the drill and he drills right through the lock, and the
Beautiful.
guy's yelling at him. He's like, "Oh."
Just that smile he has. I mean, it's got a bit of sinister.
It
to
does
It.
very. And then he's whacking golf balls off a kid's head and stuff like that later. Like, really? But no, very well done stuff.
So you think he could have made like a pretty decent villain?
Oh yeah, I really do think he could have done some fun movies like that.
Something like maybe like Ram Man from He-Man or something.
Well, Ram Man started out as a bad guy, but then he kind of became a likable kind of guy in the cartoon.
That might actually work even better.
Like a Dr. Evil.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah, just a lovable, huggable kind of guy. Although I think John Candy would have been a little bit taller than Ram Man, but still, same build width-wise. Candy was like 6 foot, 6'2", something like that, 300 something pounds.
Change the camera angle a little bit.
Yeah, we'll shoot from a little higher vantage point.
Have him stoop a little.
I know a lot of people know John Candy from being on SCTV, and there's some really great hour-long videos of his best clips on YouTube that people can watch. And I do recommend it. I've seen a variety of them, and like his role as Leave It to Beaver and
That one
as
was
Babe Ruth.
quite amusing.
And
I mean, just Leave It to Beaver 25 years later.
right.
Ward's an alcoholic.
Yes.
You'd sent me one was he on like Sesame Street or something?
Yeah, he was playing a character as like one of the half of the Happy Wanderers or something like that. He's doing this like Swedish, and he's talking with Oscar the Grouch. I'm like, really? John Candy and Oscar the Grouch here. That's an interesting pairing.
Sure.
Grouch and John Candy. But no, it's amazing the stuff. Man, YouTube is just a fucking rabbit hole.
It is.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I never knew Mr. Rogers was on Sesame Street. Surprise. Like, a couple episodes or an episode. But just the things that you can see and all the different like awards and, post, life legacy kind of, this award's named for this, or he's Canadian Legacy Award or something like that. Pretty interesting. So Justin, what would be some of your more favorite roles from John Candy that you can recall?
Oh boy. Well, I would say that probably number one, just because whenever one is a child and sees things, you look at them in one way, and then you get older and you see them a little different. When I was a kid, I loved Who's Harry Crumb, which is generally not one of the most fondly remembered of his.
No.
But certainly not the worst. But I loved just the bumbling character of Harry Crumb and the fact that he wants to pretend to be the smartest guy in the room, but it's clear to everyone he's not.
Right.
And my favorite thing he ever does is, and I saw some SCTV clips just earlier where he's playing a small town private detective, just like Harry Crumb. And he does the same thing where somebody says something and then he responds back, and then they say, well, but that's not right. That's wrong what you said. And he would just have this confused look and exactly. I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful. But other than that, I don't care what anyone says. I love Wagons East. Most people think it's one of his worst. In fact,
Right.
some people even dare say it's one of the worst Westerns ever.
Right. Which is his last film that he filmed scenes for.
Yes.
Because he passed away after filming while still in Mexico for.
He wasn't
filming
even quite done filming yet.
Right. They still had to bring in like stunt doubles or something like that to
And that
piece
was
it
another
together.
one. Yeah, and that's another one that when I was a kid, I enjoyed it because John Candy, funny, and it's really goofy. But as an adult, I realized how many actors are in it that, oh my God, like that's the guy from that, and that's the guy from that. And there's so many people in that movie who are in all sorts of other roles that just, I love that movie more now than I did as a kid.
Right.
But I also look at that one as like a genius editing because the special effects they had to make to finish the movie.
Yeah.
But most people don't know this. There's at least one scene in there twice. Because he wasn't around to finish that scene.
Right.
So they reused the scene.
And the dialogue?
Well, he's not actually speaking.
Okay.
So the scene early in the movie, I'm going off quite on a tangent, but that's all right.
No worries.
So there's a scene early in the movie where they first meet him in the bar and he's explaining their path, and he's hammered, and there's a scene where he's going to slam the bottle down, but he doesn't. And then he goes on out the door. There's a scene later in the movie where he's getting drunk in the bar, and he hears about, the wagon train's going to get ambushed. And you could see on his face, like, I need to get back to him. It's the same shot of him about to slam it down, and it cuts away to a shot of someone slamming it down.
Oh.
It's the exact same shot. But apparently they also rewrote part of the script to rewrite some of his lines for other people and cut him out of some scenes. I've heard as much as 40% of his scenes he hadn't filmed yet. And then I've also heard only a few scenes he hadn't filmed yet. But either way, there were some scenes that weren't done.
Yeah.
But his character in that is just this beautiful, slovenly, drunken buffoon who by the end is this graceful gentleman.
Right.
I love James Harlow in Wagons East. I can't help it.
So the town drunk turns...
Well, he was the wagon master for the Donner Party. Spoilers. They're trying to figure that out through the whole movie. And the one guy...
The Donner Party, like the people that...
ate each other.
Okay.
Yes.
Donner Party too.
And that's why he doesn't eat meat anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, yeah. They kept saying, like, I wonder why he doesn't eat meat. And yeah, that's why. Have either of you seen Heavy Metal from the early 80s?
It's an
The
animated
one?
I want to say I have, but not the words like, no.
It is such a guilty pleasure of mine. I have this love affair of 70s and 80s rated R animated movies. Like some Ralph Bakshi movies and things like that. But he does a few voices in there, and he changes his voice so well. Like, you can tell it's him, but for each character he does, and I think he does 3 different characters in there. In fact, one of the characters, it's the same character, but he has to do 2 voices for. I mean, his voice acting is so good. And I didn't even think about it until the other day. He's in so many movies where he's not even the main star.
Right.
And this is another one of those that you always forget he's in. But then when you hear him, it's, oh my God, he's so good.
Yeah, if you look at his filmography, he really wasn't the quote-unquote star of the film, the top billed in the great majority of things that he was in.
Right. And that's why I forget half the movies he's in, because he's not always the main guy. But anyway, the last one that growing up, it was Harry Crumb and James Harlow. When I hit college and I discovered Heavy Metal, big fan. And then I decided to watch Canadian Bacon, which I thought I'd seen, but apparently I hadn't. And that was the last movie released with him, but it was filmed before Wagons East.
Yeah, this came out in like 95, so like a year after he died.
Yeah.
Wasn't it done by Michael Moore?
It's the only fictional movie Michael Moore's done.
Mr. Documentary.
And I was expecting, when I saw that, I thought, oh, what kind of a movie is this going to be?
Right.
And it turns out it's hilarious. But it's, without getting on a political rant, it is very timely now. It would fit in perfectly now.
Really? Because doesn't he play like a Canadian sheriff or something like
He
that?
plays an American sheriff.
American sheriff, okay.
Right on the border of Canada and United States. And the president creates a fake situation between Canada and the United States. Like he tries to, because his approval ratings are so low and everyone's bored with him, that he tries to stir up international problems with other countries.
To make him important again.
Yeah, he starts with Russia, and Russia's like, you beat us. We have no interest. We're trying to put food on our tables. You do what you want. So then they started creating this misinformation campaign against Canada, and he plays as Sheriff Bud Boomer in a little tiny town near Niagara Falls, and it has like this weapons manufacturer company that's going out of business. And so everyone's disenfranchised with the president and all this, but then this starts stirring them up, and he takes it quite literally and starts invading Canada. And there is a scene in this movie in particular. This had me rolling more than anything else. If anyone's seen Life of Brian, the Monty Python movie, there's a scene where they're writing in Latin something about the Romans, like insults to the Romans, and then the Roman centurion comes out and is like, you need to conjugate this. You're not using your Latin properly, and makes him rewrite all the Latin that's
wrong.
Yeah, it's basically like that, where they have on their truck spray painted Canada sucks, America all the way, all these things. They get pulled over because in Canada they have 2 official languages, and it's illegal to not have French and English. So he pulled him over so that he wouldn't be in trouble with the people from Quebec. So he has to spray paint all the
slur
insults against Canada in French.
Jeez, just to make sure you're appealing to both
That's right.
speaking languages.
Right. And that has probably become one of my new favorite roles of his, because it fits, like he kind of plays a lot of these kind of bumbling,
Right, yeah.
lovable kind of characters. And Bud Boomer is one of those. He's not the sharpest tack out there. I guess he means well.
Well, he does
Sort
in
of.
most of his movies, I believe. He means well, but like you say, he's kind of a bumbling fool in most of them.
Yeah.
Tender-hearted bumbling fool.
Yeah. And I mean, there might be some other movies that I enjoy a little bit more, but that Bud Boomer role is just, it's beautiful.
Yeah, he was actually in Follow That Bird, which is a Sesame Street Big Bird film. So he was in that. He played a role of state trooper. So I think there was like 10 roles that he had where he played police of some sort. So he did play a lot of police officers, etc., for whatever reason. I don't know.
My list is a little shorter, but again, limited experience. The first, maybe second of his roles that he did that I kind of really enjoyed was The Great Outdoors. I mean, it's kind of a classic at this point. Between trying to catch a bat in a pillowcase, or
Way before Black Sheep tried it.
yep,
Uh-huh.
and trying to battle a bear, or trying to down a what is it, a 72-ounce steak,
The old 96er.
yeah,
Which is
96
based
ounce.
on a 72-ounce one in
Probably Texas.
Amarillo, Texas. Because
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
driven by there and I've seen it, and I think, one of these days. Except there, it's not just the steak. You got to get
the
The
fries.
sides and
There's a whole bunch of sides. There's like a roll, a salad, a couple sides on top of that. So it's,
There's no way.
well, he gets the T-shirt, folks.
Yeah.
yeah.
But he only holds it for a little while until a few minutes into the door.
Wasn't it they found the raccoons getting the trash?
Something like
And then
that.
it makes them
Raccoons and
explode?
Yeah.
I mean, really, that movie is just something special with all of the shit that goes wrong in it.
Yeah. The water skiing.
Oh man, the water skiing.
Yeah.
Or when he's riding on the horse and the horse just kind of leaves him out there.
Yeah.
Then you have, Home Alone, where he just makes a very small appearance, but you're like, I know him.
Right.
I know him.
That's another one you forget he's in there.
Yeah.
Right.
But he kind of plays an important role because that's how Kevin's mom gets Kevin in the movie.
Right.
Obviously.
Not mine.
Yes.
How his mom gets home to find him home alone, and with the thieves and whatnot. Anyhow, then we have Spaceballs as Barf.
Barf. Not in here, you're not.
The Chewbacca version of Spaceballs.
I mean, come on, Spaceballs, a parody off of Star Wars. Not that 100 parodies haven't been done by now, but at the time, I think it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't he say he's a Mog?
Yeah.
Half man, half dog.
That is my favorite line of the movie. I'm a mug, half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend. That is my favorite line.
Yeah.
And then there's also one of his more classic lines that I can think of is in Vacation, where he's playing security guard Lasky or something like that. Sorry, folks, park closed. Moose out front should have told you.
And that look on his face.
Right, like
It's so sincere.
Right, it's like kind of most security guards, they get that little bit of power, and they get on their little power trip. Like, okay, just check yourself here.
I think I know a few of them.
I was going to say, back whenever I worked in the mall, there was this one security guard who wasn't a whole lot older than I was, and he liked to show off for the high school girls. So he'd be standing out there twirling his walkie-talkie.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, he dropped that thing so many times, and they all would always laugh at him. And I wanted to feel bad for him, but I couldn't bring myself.
Right, it's like you keep
I
bringing
get
it on
older and
yourself.
they stay the same age.
That's exactly what it reminded me of. One time it actually kind of shattered into pieces, and I thought, oh, this is going to be glorious.
Yeah, but I would say probably my favorite overall role of his that would be in more of a starring role would be Del Griffith in Planes, Trains, Automobiles with Steve Martin.
I would say, hands down, that's probably his best role.
Right.
I mean, that there's some good depth there.
And I think whenever John Hughes gave him the script, he's like, I feel this role was written just for me. And I was like, I'm feeling perfect for it because it was him. It was
He's
great.
like, how did you get in my head?
Right.
I saw an interview with Steve Martin, and he said, I guess he was talking to J.C. Corcoran, who was on the radio here for years. In fact, I have his autograph on my wall.
Yes, you do.
He said that whenever he worked with John Candy, he said that he was always really nice, really friendly, but he always you felt like he was hiding some sort of a sadness. And whenever he was explaining this, I thought, that's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles perfectly. I mean, that character, on the surface, he's really happy.
Right. Keeps talking about his wife, but not necessarily like in the past tense.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
But then you start seeing by the end, like he's covering up a lot of stuff.
Right. He says, I've been home for years. And he's a shower curtain ring salesman.
Yeah.
And the best in the country. Stuff like that.
Which I find fascinating, which I didn't even think of until like a few weeks ago, but think like that came out in 87.
Right, yeah.
And that's kind of at the height of 80s excess and
Right.
Wall Street. And here's this character who's selling shower curtain rings across country.
Right, the hotels and
That's
just anybody that'll buy them.
Yeah, and nowadays it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. But like in the 80s, that's really weird.
That's really, yeah. Stuff you just walk into a store and purchase.
Yeah, I mean, you figured... I mean, Steve Martin's more of the normal character role in the 80s,
Right.
where he's kind of the
Kind of a marketing.
kind of an asshole.
Yeah. Kind of snobbish New York, but he's from Chicago or whatever. He's in New York for the meeting, and he gets pissed at the main boss guy. He's like, we came all the way here. We're sitting here for this long, and now we're going to reconvene after the holidays.
I mean, you've got the whole, going back to Wall Street, the whole greed is good kind of mentality, and then you've got this nice, sweet little Del Griffith
Yep.
selling his shower rings.
So, Neil, any luck? Any luck on a hotel? No. Well, while you were calling home, I called the blah, blah, blah hotel or whatever. Got us a room.
Oh my god. I love whenever they get pulled over in that car.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
It's not much to look at, but
No.
believe it or not, the radio still works.
And that's the guy that played Lenny, either Lenny or Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley.
Michael McKean.
Yeah.
Yep. He was in, I think he did 1 year of SNL.
Okay. Possibly.
Not much.
But speaking of SNL, John Candy reportedly turned down numerous offers to be part of that cast. He hosted it once or twice, I think.
At most, yeah.
Yeah, I think once, like in 1985 or something like that. So.
There was, apparently he was just too committed to his SCTV.
Yeah, well, I mean, just look how close they were.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of helped feed each other.
Mm-hmm.
You look at them all in Stripes. You look at them all almost in Ghostbusters. You look at them all just keep going and going. Great Outdoors. So many other little things that they worked in. Ugh. So he actually appeared in more John Hughes films than any other actor. So him and John Hughes obviously had a pretty good working relationship.
Which fascinates me with all those Brat Pack characters.
Right.
I figured one of them would have.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Go figure.
Yeah. Good friends with Wayne Gretzky and was a co-owner of the Toronto Argonauts Canadian football team.
That kind of blew my mind.
Yeah.
I had no idea till recently. I saw that, I forgot who it was, but there was a player on that team that was interviewed. And he said it didn't matter where we were, if we were home or if we were away. If John got introduced, everyone would cheer for him. Mm-hmm. If we would get introduced, we would get booed even by our home fans.
Yeah, apparently the team was not... I mean, it's a very old team that started like back in the 1800s.
It was an old one.
But...
yeah. I think that 1 year they actually won their, whatever their cup, the championship thing is, right around the time I think he took over or something.
Yeah, because they took over, it was him, Gretzky, and Bruce McNow, who got into some trouble with some stuff. Anyway, they had it from 1991, and of course, when Candy passed away in 94, that's when things kind of started going down. They ended up selling the team in like May of 94.
I saw somewhere that either the day he died or the day before, right around there, he made a call that he was interested in selling, getting out of the team. And then he died.
Right.
And so I thought, boy, I wonder what kind of legal problems that would have turned into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if he did in the process of selling or something like that.
And I don't know how, obviously I don't know how much of it's true or what part of the process he was in, or if he just decided to do that and nothing had happened.
But he seems like a big football fan from my understanding, because there's also the report that Joe Montana said in numerous interviews that he's seen John Candy sitting in the front row during a Super Bowl while Montana was, quarterback, and they're in the huddle or whatever, and he notices John Candy's there and asks one of his teammates, "Do you see John Candy over there?" It's like, okay, that's pretty cool. Obviously, that's somebody you're going to recognize, but I would think there's a little bit more going on in your head at a Super Bowl, probably.
I would think.
Yeah, than seeing, oh, cool, an actor's there.
I mean, I will say that was kind of around the time, I guess it was right around the time when Super Bowl really started becoming like as big of a deal as it is now.
Spectacle.
Yeah, because not too long before then, all the halftime shows were university bands.
Right.
Like they weren't recording artists.
No.
Can we go back to those days?
I was just about to say that.
That would,
That would be kind of
nice.
awesome.
Yeah. Another thing I thought was interesting, that he was a fan of Doctor Who.
That hits home.
Yeah.
I didn't see that until you put it on there, and I'd have so much to talk with him about.
Wonder if he'd be a little bit of a fan today about the newer stuff.
I wonder what his favorite Doctor was.
Yes.
because he would have only had 7
Yep.
to work with.
I would imagine he probably would have tried to be in Doctor Who in some shape or form had he continued to live. You would think. I mean, what kind of role do you think he could have played in that?
Might have. Huh. Yeah. Well, because, I mean, so traditionally thinking about the Doctor, I can't think of a Doctor that's not, we'll say, slim-figured.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, him being a Doctor probably kind of out of the question at the time. Maybe now more acceptable.
Boy, I don't know. There's a lot of running.
Well, right. Maybe not.
That is one of the great lines from, I guess Rose said that at one point. Lots of running. Love the running.
Yeah, I can't see John Candy doing much
A lot of running.
active stuff like that.
Call him the stunt double.
Yeah.
I don't know, I could see a lot of like supporting characters or guest starring roles, but there was no offense to Matt Lucas, but there was Nardole for a season during Capaldi's reign. For a whole season, there was Nardole, who's a pleasantly plump, bald fellow.
Yes.
I could see him playing. Of course, Nardole's a lot younger than Candy was, but I could see him fitting in that role. And he was kind of a funny
I was going to say
character.
something he could flex that funny muscle, because that seemed to be the role that he either was fond of, or either I don't know if he was really pigeonholed into it. It kind of seemed like he was just fond of it. He was just kind of that happy guy, or at least on the outside.
Because I know that a lot of his, whenever he started, he didn't really start doing the drama thing till like late 80s.
Right.
And a lot of those bombed.
Mm-hmm.
But
And I wouldn't even really consider those true, like, dramatic comedies or something like that in a way.
they're not strictly drama. But like, there's a few in there that I have not seen. Maybe I'll give it a shot one day. I don't know. I tried to give some of his early work, mid-70s stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, some of those are just kind of bad.
Now you're just talking about the presentation as a whole,
Oh
or
yeah.
him? Yeah.
No. He was okay. There wasn't as much of him in it as I would have liked.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just, the quality of it was really not good, and the acting was not good. Story was terrible, and I mean they were low budget, and they were not good low budget.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of them are on Prime right now. I tried. Well, one of them's like a public domain movie.
Really?
Yeah, so
Whoa.
and it came out in 75 or 76. There's a hour and 20-minute cut that's in the public domain. The hour and 40-minute cut is not. Go figure.
You would think it's the other way around.
Yeah. So, of course, the 20-minute shorter one is the one that's on Prime, and there's no setup. It just starts. And I thought, wait, did I miss something? What's going on here?
Yeah, that's what got cut.
I mean, it looked like the whole beginning got cut, and I picked up somewhere in the middle of the first act. What is happening?
It's like turning the TV on and like, oh, what's this? I guess I'll watch it.
Yeah, and you're playing catch up, trying to figure out what's going on.
Sorry, old TV. I don't know any of the new kids listening out there if they know what that is.
Right.
Yeah, over
Just
the air
kidding,
antenna
just
stuff.
Yeah.
OTA.
Well, I'm going to be thinking about that the rest of the night. What Doctor Who character would he be?
Yeah, it just makes me wonder. It's like if you're a big fan and you kind of get to that notoriety or that famous, you probably get thrown in there too. I mean, look at Ed Sheeran. He made a brief appearance in season 7 of Game of Thrones. It's like, I don't really know why you're here, but you're
Right.
here.
And I got to admit, with this latest incarnation that started in 2005, that would be the one that he would pop up in, because that's way more international than the original series was.
Yeah.
Yeah, to think he would be, coming up on 69 this year, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he'd be 69 this year.
Dang.
It's like, wow.
Of course, I kind of also wonder what kind of physical shape he'd be in.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I was thinking about that. We saw him kind of, in quotations, kind of in his prime.
Yeah. Pleasantly
Getting
plump.
older, would he have made it to 69 even?
Yeah, that's a good question. 'Cause, I mean, his dad passed away when he was like 35.
Right.
And John was
Jeez.
only like 5
And it
of
was
a heart attack. And his grandpa also passed away early. So, I
Man,
mean, it
writing on the wall.
was like he was just kind of destined to it. So it's why, in a way, it just seemed like, he would try these different diets and things like that and just kind of fall off the wagon a little bit.
But I think, like you have here, he was a heavy smoker most of his life. And
Yes, that too.
I'm pretty sure that doesn't help with heart disease, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And all those interviews I saw, he had a cigarette in his hand.
And there's not many roles you don't see him smoking in.
That's true.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what caused the car to catch on fire and plane, trains, and automobiles. So,
That is a great scene.
and the fact that when he's trying to take his jacket off, it gets caught in those little hooks, and he gets to the point he can't drive at all because he's trying to use his leg.
It's over there. You got the couple that's yelled at him.
Oh,
You're going the
God.
wrong way. And yeah, you're drinking. Okay, yeah.
That sequence, I mean, just that whole ride once they leave St. Louis, of all places. And, but as you're watching that, you're thinking, so from St. Louis to Chicago is typically about a 4.5 to 5 hour drive. It takes them almost 2 days
You're right.
to make that drive.
Yep.
Like, okay, so that's not the realistic part. Just suspend reality for this.
Yeah, I was just thinking it because we mentioned earlier about the bat in the cabin
Yep.
for
Great Outdoors.
and it was in Black Sheep. But then there's a whole bunch of Tommy Boy where they're driving and the car gets torn up and all this.
Yep.
Did they just like watch a bunch of John Candy movies and think, oh, let's rewrite some of these and do these bits again?
Right, let's let Chris Farley, who's kind of the new John Candy, do that.
Yeah, because I know that, Dan Aykroyd wanted to do another Ghostbusters in the 90s with Chris Farley, but then he died.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that would have been just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Let's do what we did before and try it again.
Yeah. An interesting tidbit had mentioned that John Candy was almost in Ghostbusters, but the role of Louis Tully, John Candy passed on.
There's
Something to do with an accent.
There's
or
some
something.
differing opinions on that.
Yeah.
Like, so if you watch the commentary for the Ghostbusters with Harold Ramis on, which he's hilarious on there, by the way. If you watch one commentary in your life, watch the Ghostbusters one with Harold Ramis, Ivan Reitman, and Joe Medjuck, because there's a scene where Harold Ramis appears on screen the first time, and Ivan Reitman's talking about something, and Harold Ramis interrupts him and says, whoa, 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 my introduction. Just for that. But they were talking on there that they brought in John Candy for that role because they really wanted him for it. And they said that he couldn't figure the role out.
Right.
He wanted to do it as a German.
Right.
With Dobermans.
Or German Shepherd dogs.
Yeah, Dobermans or German Shepherds. He wanted to be German, and they're like, no, it's not German.
It's not necessary.
That's not what we're going for here. And they said he couldn't figure out the role. So he passed and moved on.
His friend Rick Moranis
But Rick
gets it.
Moranis gets it, and apparently he was okay with it because they were really good friends and thought
Right.
it'd be a good
role
thing for him.
Yeah.
But then I saw an interview with John Candy, and he was asked about it, and he said, we just had some difference of opinions about some things, and I decided to move on the project. Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it.
Right. Yeah, just to look back and be like, that would have been a nice one to put on my IMDb.
Yeah.
Or my
yeah.
filmography.
What a different movie that could have been.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not saying Rick Moranis was bad and he was great in his role.
Oh, yeah.
But,
it's hard to imagine really anyone else in it.
Yeah.
It really is.
Looking at it.
But
Yeah.
it's interesting to think about. What could it have been?
Because, Moranis is kind of a smaller, kind of nerdy looking guy. He just fits that role the way that it turned out.
John Candy's your, I mean, we'll say it, average American at this point.
Right. Yeah. Who knows? But he ended up being in Ray Parker Jr.'s Ghostbusters music video.
So he made up for it.
Right. He was still a part of it.
He's just as famous because of that.
Exactly.
Because that turned out so well.
Yeah. It's hard to believe things like that. But he did have, I know, one serious role, I guess he played. What was his name? Dean Andrews, a New Orleans, Louisiana attorney during JFK.
And that's another one I always forget he's in it.
The scene they do in the restaurant with him and Kevin Costner, fantastic. You can watch just that clip on YouTube if you want. Then there's some courtroom scenes and stuff with Dean Andrews on the stand and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting that and how nervous John was acting opposite of some of these. You know, by that time, this is 91 when the film came out. I believe Costner had already done Dances with Wolves and some of these other actors. It's an Oliver Stone film, and so just having that opportunity was something a little bit different because obviously he's out of his realm of being the kind of big, goofy, funny guy.
Well, and also that accent.
Yes.
Because I read
and holding it.
He practiced it nonstop for a long time because he was really nervous about how it would sound.
Right.
It sounded great.
Yeah, I would have thought he was from there.
Yeah. I mean, there's one, I forgot where he was in the movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's a real close-up on his mouth. Mm-hmm. And you see him talking. You forget it's him.
Right.
The accent is so good that it's, wait, who is that?
He's wearing sunglasses throughout pretty much his entire scenes, which I think also kind of helps probably take some of the, okay, so it's John Candy, but in a way it's not because you can't see his eyes. I think that probably helped calm him down some, take some of the anxiety away. Because okay, can't see my eyes.
It's a safety blanket.
Can't see how nervous I am. So, but no, he did fantastic in that. Uncle Buck, it's just...
That, for me, is a really tough one to watch. Just because of where I was as a kid when I first saw that. Because when I first saw it, the parents were in the middle of getting a divorce. And my sister she's 10 years older. Whenever they hear about troubled teenagers, that's her.
Right.
She was similar to the girl in the movie, but way worse.
Wow, even worse than the character?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, because the character is pretty damn bold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm like, oh, wow.
Worse than her. Yeah. So I wished I could have had an Uncle Buck to kind of come in and
make everything
better, but there wasn't.
Yeah.
So whenever I watch the movie, which I have tried to force myself to do many times over the last few years, it's really difficult to get through because I immediately go back to being, I guess I was probably 6 or 7 when I first saw it. Oh yeah, that's a wonderful time to go back to rethink of all these wonderful times from way back then. It's one of the few John Candy roles that it's a fantastic movie and it's a great role, but it's
hard for you to watch on a personal level.
Yes, just because of where I was when I first saw it. Maybe one day I'll get past that.
Yeah,
because it's good.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one.
It's really good. One of the 2 roles that he played with Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah,
which Macaulay Culkin plays, obviously a little boy because he's a little kid in this movie. I think that came out before Home Alone. Let me see. Uncle Buck's 89. And then Home Alone is 1990. So it was kind of like in a back-to-back kind of thing. So there's a recent podcast episode with Jennifer Candy interviewing Macaulay Culkin that I want to listen to because I'm hoping that, obviously, you would imagine they're going to dive into, so what was your experience like working with my dad? And I mean, obviously, Macaulay Culkin was a very young kid at the time, so I don't know how he could speak to it, what he remembers. and stuff from it, but I would imagine seeing the movies now and looking back might jar some things.
Well, in Home Alone, he didn't share any scenes with them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the thing so in checking this out, I just stumbled on this. I found this fascinating. They only had John Candy for like a day for Home Alone. So they said, we want to put you in here somehow. And he said, well, I only have a day. So they're like, all right, you have 24 hours. They filmed for 24 hours all of his scenes.
Wow.
my God.
Every scene that's in Home Alone, they filmed in one day. And a lot of the stuff in the van was ad-libbed.
Really?
They were just kind of rambling. And they're like, well, we'll find something in here that works. And
Whoa.
yeah, there's some outtakes that I saw where it's clear they're rambling, but they work together in SCTV because she was on there for a long time.
That
Catherine O'Hara.
Yes.
And so they had a rapport that goes back a long way, so they could just sit there and riff back and forth, and it's kind of fun to watch them kind of jab each other a little bit.
I think she gave one of the eulogies at his
did,
funeral
yes. Yep.
up in Canada. Mm-hmm. So I think there was a clip of her doing that. Mm-hmm. But just seeing him and when he's having that interaction with the principal or the administrator at the school, he's kind of has to go down there to check on what's going on with Gabby, or Maisie, sorry. The actress is Gabby Hoffman. Maisie's the little girl. And just that interaction just at the end where he says, here's a quarter, go downtown and have a rat and all that thing off your face.
Yes.
and the little kid that's sitting out in the, he's like next or something. He's just, oh my God, this is, just thinking, you could see on his face, like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, just some of those scenes are so fantastic. How he's trying to adjust to. He needs to use the bathroom before he goes in there. And, the stalls are all taken up. He sees the urinals, and they're like a foot or two off the ground. So he's kind of like, "How am I going to use this?" He kind of squats down on one knee and stuff like that. Oh God, it was just so funny.
I did see a thing with his daughter. She was asked, what was it like growing up with him? And she said he basically was Uncle Buck. She's like, as a person, that's as close of a role that I can remember him in real life. Like, he was genuinely concerned about people, and he would kind of do whatever he had to do to take care of those people. Mm-hmm. And I thought, that's kind of scary and kind of awesome at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, now that you say that kind of reminds me of my Uncle Warren, who actually had passed, and in a lot of ways, because he always was concerned with like family and people, and that was his number one priority always. And for the life that he lived, not a very high life of any means, but like anything that he had extra to give, he definitely did.
Or maybe not the greatest role model, because that's kind of Uncle Buck. It's like, you don't have a job. Don't have no income, you pretty much go bet all this money on horse races, and that's how you survive for the year.
Mm-hmm.
He's a bit of an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting.
I never really thought of it until just now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of got this
like a median range anti-hero, not like a Dexter Morgan
Yeah.
anti-hero.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
He's a little of an unlawful good, kind of, or maybe.
Yeah, see him as the brother or brother-in-law or something like that on Splash, which I think, Justin, you said you had not seen.
I've never seen. I really want to, though.
I've only seen it once or twice, and I don't really remember too much of it other than a couple of the more popular, famous scenes.
The only one I know of is the racquetball scene.
Right.
Because he's getting hit with the ball, and he's out of breath. He's just, how long have we been doing this? 5 minutes.
Right.
That'd be me if I was trying to play racquetball.
Then the authorities come in to check because, Tom Hanks and Daryl Hannah's a mermaid, and the authorities are coming in, and he's just sitting up there on top of like this big water tank, just feet dangling. He looks like he's holding a fishing line or something like that, and holding a cigar or something. Hey, fellas. Just these small little roles. And another one I watched was Brewster's Millions.
I haven't seen that in so long.
which is with Richard Pryor. I wouldn't say that's not a John Candy movie. It's Richard Pryor. He's the star of that film. His role was kind of in it. And so to me, it was a forgettable movie. It just, there was so much going on so fast. It was tough to kind of keep. I'm like, I didn't really like the movie too much. So.
I think a lot of his movies can be split kind of into 3 categories. Like there's one where he's in it, but he's not the focus of it. He's kind of the supporting guy. There's another one where the other 2, he is the main guy, but one is like an actual movie in its regular sense. Like there's actual heart to it. There's a little depth to it. Like Great Outdoors would be a perfect example.
Right.
That is a movie where there's motivations and there's storylines. And then there's other ones. I love Wagons East and I love Harry Crumb. Mm-hmm. But those are movies kind of built around the idea of a character where, he's kind of the main guy, but it's not really, the focus of the movie isn't to tell a good story. It's more to be a vehicle for this goofy character. And a lot of those, they're not the biggest of hits.
Yeah.
I like a few of them, but yeah.
I mean, I think he does a pretty good job as Irv in Cool Runnings. It's kind of I would say it's like an underrated film for him, just because, I mean, it focuses on Jamaican bobsled team. It's a Disney film, so I think a lot of people forget that aspect of it. They're like, oh, it's a Disney film. And it's kind of a feel-good story. He plays like a 2-time gold medalist bobsledder or something like that who got into gambling and stuff like that. It's a common theme for him and his characters.
There's a great scene in that where it's him and I forget the main
the bobsled driver, Charisse or whatever his name is.
And he's talking about you don't throw your life away on just winning. He's like, I did that. He's when winning is everything, that's all you want to do and nothing else matters. And he said you've got to have something else in your life. And he has some line, and I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's like, if you're nothing without winning, then you'll be nothing with winning. And I'm like, this is great advice.
Yeah, it feels.
Oh,
yeah.
The depression goes away.
Yeah, another movie that I may have seen once, but I haven't seen it, or I really don't remember seeing it at all. Summer Rental.
I know I saw it when I was a kid, but I was going to watch it for this, and I was watching like the trailer for it again and reading up on it, and I thought, is Great Outdoors like Summer Rental Part 2? Not really.
No.
But they're kind of in a similar vein.
Right.
So I thought, that might be an interesting double feature.
Yeah. Nice little back-to-back to watch. During, kind of prep time for this episode, I fell ill for like a day and a half, so I watched like 4 or 5 movies in one day.
As you do.
You're right. It's like, I got nothing else that I feel like doing. I'm not going downstairs to play games. I'm just going to sit in bed. If I need to go to the bathroom, I can go to the bathroom.
Yep.
Just a few steps away.
I know the feeling.
And so I watched like 4 or 5 movies. My wife's like, what are you doing? I'm like, research. Research. Do my due diligence. And I just mainly went with the more familiar, well-known ones. And Plane, Trains, and Automobiles, I could just watch that again and again and again. It's great for both John Candy and Steve Martin.
That's another one that falls in. It's just a very well-written...
Yeah.
It's not a vehicle just to show off his character. There's a lot of depth in that movie.
Yeah. And to think that movie was supposed to be... I think the original script came in at like 100 and something pages. It was supposed to be like really long. Like it could have been over 3 hours long. Like the final cut's like an hour and 30 minutes, something like that.
Apparently Spaceballs was like that too. Like the first draft? One of the first drafts that they had, time-wise, would have been about a 4-hour movie. And then cutting it down to less than an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Apparently Mel Brooks just wanted that opening shot of the Star Destroyer ship, how it keeps going and going. He wanted that to be the whole movie for an hour and a half.
Jesus.
And he said
Then the
apparently
movie would
someone in the
start.
studio was like, you can't do that.
Well, he should have did a director's cut the way that he wanted it.
Yes. Yeah.
Jeez.
And it's kind of the downside of like Planes, Trains, Automobiles is John Hughes passed away quite some time ago. Mm-hmm. That you can't get like a director's cut of what he would have liked to have done, because just with so much footage that's probably just rotting away somewhere that had been shot, because they shot so much for that movie.
If it still exists.
Right.
Because I know sometimes they just don't save it.
Yeah. It's like that towards the end, the scene where Steve Martin's on the subway or whatever, the train, after Dell and him kind of go their separate ways in Chicago. You know, Steve Martin's just kind of like looking around or whatever. Looks like he's contemplating or thinking. That was just footage that the cameras just kept rolling, and he was just kind of like thinking over his lines and stuff like that and looking around, oh-hum. But it actually worked out great in that scenario of him like reminiscing their journey to get here, and they ended up using that, and it was very fitting for that moment in the film.
I always love moments like that whenever like you're watching a commentary or something and they point out, yeah, they didn't know that we were filming them at this point, but it just looked good and we left it in. And from that point, it's hard to watch the movie and not see that
And
scene
not think
and
of
think,
that.
oh, so that's what that's like. Oh, it's a nice little candid moment.
A little behind the scenes in front of the camera. Just kind of a look like that. And no, I think, I don't know how much longer John Candy would have kept working or what kind of things he could have done had he not passed so early.
I would definitely say, just looking at the trend of his career, I definitely think there would have been more dramatic roles throughout the 90s. Just because, I mean, he was doing more of them anyways, but he was really good at them.
Yeah. He's just apparently a lot more flexible than people would want to typically give him credit for.
I also think he probably would have done more like voice work.
Right.
Because I totally forgot that he had that cartoon.
Yeah. Camp Candy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I briefly remember, I knew it was a thing on TV when I was a kid, or younger, but I don't really think I watched it enough to care about it.
Yeah. I mean, seeing him in his voices in heavy metal and then that, he could do some pretty good voices.
He voiced a character in Rescuers Down Under, too. Another Disney film.
That's, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But I also think another reason he probably would have done more voice work, just physically, it's not nearly as demanding.
Yeah, you just stand in front of a microphone or sit on a stool or
Yeah.
something like that and do your stuff and go home.
You don't have to worry about what you look like. You don't have to, I mean, really, you don't even have to memorize your lines.
Right, because the script's right in front
It's
of you.
yours right there. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Because I know there's some people that have kind of turned their careers into just doing voice work just because.
Tim Allen, hi. Even though he does, what is it, Last Man Standing or something, whatever that show
Yeah.
is. But nobody really keeps up with that. To me, I don't know anybody that really watches it. They know him Buzz Lightyear. That's what he's been doing the last
Right.
20 years to me.
It's much easier job. I mean, you can show up dressed whatever you want to dress like. You don't even have to dress.
Right. And then it seemed like John Candy there, the latter years, he was kind of going unshaven, just letting his beard kind of be a thing. And
Which is interesting. I saw one interview whenever they said they were doing SCTV, they kind of started doing a lot of like wigs and mustaches and things like that. And he was kind of the last holdover to be like, I want my face to be me.
baby face, yeah.
He said, you can wear whatever you want to wear, but he fought that for so long, and then eventually he kind of went with the actual beard. And
Yeah. Some of his roles, like Pavarotti and things like that, these clips are just great.
oh, him as Orson Welles.
Yes.
Is so good.
Billy Crystal, wasn't it? It was on a Billy Crystal special or something, I thought.
He did it a few times. because there was one where, oh crap, I can't. It was like there was a Christmas special, but it was why am I blanking on it's the piano guy, the really eccentric one, the gay one.
Liberace?
Yes, it was Liberace's Christmas special thing.
Oh boy.
And he's having to record something, and I'm assuming this was right around the time that the infamous frozen peas commercial, if anyone's familiar with that fiasco, look up Orson Welles' frozen peas commercial. It's an audio commercial he tried to record back, I don't know, 70s, 80s. And he gets so furious with the people over the wording that he cannot get through the recording because he's just so furious with the wording of it. It is the funniest thing ever. In fact, Pinky and the Brain did a spoof of that where Brain was trying to go through the same thing, and they used the actual lines from his recorded failure of the commercial, which is funny because the guy who voiced Brain voices cartoon work for Orson Welles for the last 30 years. But
Right.
anyways,
Great voice.
they're doing a spoof of that where John Candy's version of him is yelling at the people off screen because they're in his way. And he just gets so overwhelmed with them. Stop moving. Don't move. You're distracting me. If you want to move, then get off the set. I can't work under these conditions. It is glorious.
Yeah, Orson Welles was
I love Orson Welles.
a different character.
He's an
wasn't he?
ass,
Yeah.
but I love him. Some of my favorite movies and most underrated movies of the 20th century have him attached in some way. But he's an ass.
Yeah, another thing too, I believe he appeared in like 10 movies with SNL alums.
I'm surprised it's that few.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that a lot of those are better movies than some of the other SNL movies.
Mm-hmm. I also have a feeling that even though he wasn't on SNL, he probably saw more of them than they did of each other.
Mm-hmm.
For those movies.
Mm.
And I need to watch Blues Brothers, the original, not this thing that came out a couple years ago.
There's a thing that came out a couple... Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there was Blues Brothers 2000,
Yeah.
which is...
Nah.
A thing.
It
It exists.
The originals, I love the original.
So I hear he had a pretty good role in there. Very small, but...
It's small. Carrie Fisher's in there too, but she has a really small role. Yeah. Yeah, so that came out in 1980, the same year as Empire Strikes Back.
Oh.
She looks exactly the same in both. But so there's that theory that, all the cocaine going on.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the theory in Return of the Jedi, you see her cocaine nail in the one shot. Are we not familiar with this?
Nope.
Whenever they're, I guess, landing on Endor and they're in the shuttle,
Okay.
she's got her hand on Han's shoulder and her, pinky
Nail is a
nail
lot
is
longer
really
than-
long and the rest of them aren't. So everyone's like, oh, that's her cocaine nail, which people have denied. But, I mean, come on.
Yeah, you don't typically leave just one fingernail longer than the rest
Right.
for no reason. It's
Right.
Especially in the 80s.
if you're known for that.
Exactly.
Kind of stuff.
And she used a lot of cocaine at that time. So her role in Blues Brothers, she acts like a coked out fiend in that whole thing. John Candy's way more sedate in Blues Brothers than she is.
Yeah, so I don't really know what else there is to throw in here about John Candy.
The only other thing that I can think of is about his death.
Yeah.
Everyone assumed it's a heart attack that actually killed him, but they don't 100% know for sure. No autopsy was ever done. They're just going by the family medical history and the fact that he passed away peacefully in his sleep.
Yeah, they said it's somewhere around like 6 a.m. I know Richard Lewis said that he had talked to him the night before. They had a kind of, I wouldn't say it was a rap party because obviously it wasn't like a full-fledged
They were
rap
going
party.
on vacation.
Right.
It was like a break in filming.
Yeah, and
Damn.
so they had kind of like this get-together and called him on the phone and stuff like that. And then they found out the next morning that he had passed away. And when everybody started showing up, they're like, this is crazy. Like Richard Lewis said he ran out to a field and fell down crying or something like that. And
Yeah, I gather that cast took that really hard,
oh, I bet.
which I totally understand.
Yeah, you lose one of your big stars during the filming of a movie.
And you
Suddenly.
just talk to him.
Right.
Well, and you got to figure too, being that heavy, kind of makes me wonder, passing in your sleep, if you had some kind of sleep apnea that just
I wondered that too.
onset
Yeah, sleep apnea
of
too.
that
Combination.
over time, the combination of things. I mean, sure, his dad passed away in his 30s or
Yeah,
something,
like 35.
but still, in your sleep, I don't know.
That could be a lot of things.
Yeah, could be a lot of things, but that's interesting that everyone kind of assumes that it's one thing, but it could have been another.
Yeah.
Yeah,
mean,
because I was just reading like what kind of post things are there, because a lot of dirty laundry obviously comes out after you die.
Sure.
There apparently wasn't any with him, but that's the only thing I could find is everyone just assumed that's what it was just because there was no autopsy done and they weren't interested in doing one. But
I mean, I kind of get it.
I get it.
You're gone, and that's just that. I mean, maybe they don't want to know.
Yeah, I figured someone would be like, what happened? Like at least somewhat curious, but
Right.
I guess they weren't curious enough to really. I don't know.
Yeah. According
Especially with the family history, like you said.
according to Catherine O'Hara, whatever, she said after the fact that before going down for filming that he had a bad feeling something bad was going to happen. Whether
I
that's
read that,
true or not.
that he had kind of feelings that something was off, but yeah.
Yeah, he had apparently, let's see. So Candy had called his friends, including Canadian Football League Commissioner Larry Smith, and told them that he had just let go of his team and was putting it up for sale. He then called his assistant and invited Candy to play golf with him in the spring when he returned to Toronto. After cooking a late lasagna dinner for his assistants, Candy called his co-stars from his hotel, then went to sleep. Sometime after midnight on March 4th, 1994, Candy was found dead from a presumed myocardial infarction.
Heart attack.
Yeah, even though this was unproven as no autopsy was performed. He is buried in Hollywood, so California. Apparently not too, just above fellow actor Fred McMurray, best known from My Three Sons.
Also in my favorite noir movie, Double Indemnity, 1944. Fantastic movie.
He's got a star on Canada's Walk of Fame. I would imagine maybe he has one in Hollywood Walk of Fame. I would think
so.
But you never know because
With that body of work.
you got to pay for that kind of stuff.
Well, and the dead can't pay for anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, he had a very distinguished career just in a very short amount of time. I mean, when you think about it, he was really on the scene kind of really for like 17 years. I mean, you think about it from the early stuff until 94.
Yeah, it's not like he kind of hit it and fell off. He was in there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a lot of big hits, even right close to the end.
And another interesting thing for a Disney fan sitting across from me, that in the film Pocahontas, the role of Red Feather, the turkey, was written for him, but was subsequently cut from the film after his death.
Huh.
Yeah, so he could have been in another animated voicing film.
Voiceover seemed to be his calling at some point.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it would have really been perfect for him to have done.
There were a few movies, and I cannot remember what the projects were. They never got made, but they had certain people attached to them, and they all died.
Oh, yeah.
He was one of them. Chris Farley, I believe, was one of them.
John Belushi and Sam
Belushi.
Kinison.
Sam Kinison, yeah. Like, they were attached to the same roles for these certain movies, and they would always keep dying.
So one of the roles is portraying Atuk in the film adaptation of Mordecai Richler's The Incomparable Atuk and Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle.
Yeah, I did read that he really didn't. He'd been approached to play Fatty Arbuckle, but he kept putting it off because he just wasn't interested in playing the role. And then obviously he wasn't able to,
Right.
for reasons.
Yeah.
But that is, I believe there is a version of Fatty Arbuckle's story that is supposed to be coming out now soon.
Yeah.
That's a fascinating story.
Yeah, because he apparently was a very bad guy.
Well, one of his main infamy was he was accused of doing some things, let's say, and if I remember correctly, I don't know that he was actually, it actually occurred that way. And I believe he was found innocent.
Yeah.
Or
like
at least not guilty.
Somebody died or something like that, or
Yeah, like there was some kind of assault or death or sexual assault or something along those lines. And I believe he was found not guilty or whatever, but it didn't matter. And I mean, his career was over overnight. And it's a fascinating story. That whole silent era,
yeah.
there's some really dark, disturbing stuff that happened back then.
Arbuckle only lived to be 46. So he was young.
He was a youngin'.
Yeah, heck, he had 3 trials and more scandals.
He had a lot of scandal happen.
It's just there was so many things that went on back in those early days and stuff like that. That because contracts and royalties and all sorts of different things that all worked differently back then.
Yeah, you were not. You were basically paid a wage, and you were contracted for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily films, but for time.
Yeah.
And you were basically owned by your studio, and you had no choice of what you had to do. What you were given,
And you were grateful for that
yeah.
role.
You got no royalties. You were just paid a wage, and that's it.
To get a kind of just a brief rundown, kind of movie wise, just watch Stan and Ollie, the Laurel and Hardy film with John C. Reilly. He does a really good Oliver Hardy.
I've heard he's
fantastic.
Good.
It was really good. It was to me, it was more of a sad movie than anything.
Oh, I
Just
believe it.
seeing how we were going through retirement or heading towards retirement. It's like, man, it's kind of a bummer. It's a downer of a movie to me.
A lot of those dudes. I mean, Three Stooges is a perfect example.
Oh God,
they got screwed big time.
Jesus, yeah.
I mean, they were still playing their roles as the Stooges in their late 60s, just because they couldn't afford to do anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, then they pretty much all, I wouldn't say died completely broke, but
Wasn't far off.
yeah, they didn't have a lot.
Because they weren't given, in their case, they weren't given royalties because, for a couple of reasons. One, they were just paid a wage just to play in that role, one-time fee. But there was no such thing as reruns or syndication or anything.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
They
No.
would play on the screen, and that's it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until like the 50s when they started doing reruns on TV that they became really popular. But yeah, they didn't get any of that money.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some sad stuff.
It's a shame.
Mm-hmm. All right, but no, I think that's pretty much all we have for John Candy.
Somehow we went into the silent era.
Yeah, sorry. But let us know what you guys think of doing episodes like this on specific artists or individuals, because I think it was a little bit different and fun to do.
It's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, instead of just trying
Maybe
to
every
focus on
once
a
in a while, you know?
franchise. Yeah,
Yeah.
mix it in once every few months.
Because there's definitely a few
Once or
of those
twice a
out
year.
there that are John Candy-esque, we'll say.
Right.
Where you could definitely do a full episode on one artist or actor or however you want to say that, whether that be a director or otherwise.
Right.
And one of my guilty pleasures of movies is celebrity deaths. So I love looking up that stuff.
Yeah,
Second favorite scandal, but celebrity death.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I'm always fascinated with that myself. It's
I
like
have
when
a
someone
morbid
passes
curiosity.
away, or it's like let's go down the rabbit hole of find a grave and see what their headstones are. You know, they lived this rich life, and see what kind of little bitty tombstone, headstone, whatever, or little vault and stuff like that. Yeah, it's definitely different, and I enjoy doing something like this. So if you have any suggestions, definitely let us know. You can email us, contact@backtothepastpod.com, or just hit us up on Twitter, Instagram, anything like that. Facebook group, obviously. Just search for Back to the Past Podcast anywhere, and you'll find it. We're there. Or let us know individually. Twitter, as I've been away from Twitter I haven't been away, but it's like I'm not there as much as I normally would be.
Yeah, same. I kind of live on Instagram.
Yeah.
But that being said, you can probably still reach me on Twitter some way.
Yeah, which is
Holy Shadows, like everywhere else.
Yeah. And I'm Kevin Harvell with 2 L's on Twitter, and Kevin_Harvell on Instagram, because the person won't give up that username even though he hasn't posted in a few years. But anyway, that's beside the point. Yeah.
Still waiting on that PSN network update to get somebody off of the Holy Shadows name, but we'll see.
I got mine. Justin, where can people find you, sir?
I definitely live on Instagram and Twitter.
You do.
Like, I live there.
Yeah.
Twitter, I believe, is just @SpookyRush. The Instagram is Spooky of the Rush with underscores in between. They're
Different.
not blocked or anything, so
Yeah.
you'll find me tweeting away on various insanity.
Yeah. Tweeting and pictures and all sorts of good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's
Not
definitely
getting out
fun.
much.
Yeah, so let us know. Let us know some feedback on this, and if you feel up to taking a few seconds to leave a rating or review on wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, or any of the other little places, maybe even Spotify. You can do that too, I think. Sure. We would appreciate it. It'd be cool. So we'll definitely be back again next month with another episode. Not sure what it's going to be about yet, but
It'll be
see.
fun.
It will be.
As always.
I know it will be.
Oh, yes.
So hope everybody enjoys this slightly shorter episode. It's only somewhere over an hour. Not too bad.
Yeah.
But, when you've got somewhat of a limited amount of content that you can kind of discuss and cover, it happens. So hope everybody enjoys it. And until then, we'll talk next time when we get back from the past.
You want to hurt me? Go right ahead if it makes you feel any better. I'm an easy target. Yeah, you're right. I talk too much. I also listen too much. I could be a cold-hearted cynic like you. But I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me. My wife likes me. My customers like me. Because I'm the real article. What you see is what you get.
Delta Airlines just turned 100 and is already shaping the next century of flight with the Delta Sustainable Skies Lab. Here, they're building the future of flight. Think electric air taxis and next-gen aircraft aiming to cut fuel burn significantly. And this isn't just future talk. Today, their fleet of Boeing 737s have marine-like finlets designed to reshape airflow that reduces drag. The future of travel is more sustainable, and Delta's leading the way. Learn more at delta.com/sustainability.